So welcome. This class is about manifestation. And I call myself a transformational alchemist. So if you imagine that an alchemist is one who has the ability to turn lead into gold, then a transformational alchemist would be someone who has the ability to turn darkness into light. And one of the ways that I do that is through a form of Egyptian high magic. Back in 1987, I was working for a gentleman named Mark. And Mark said to me, I was running a business and finance department, and I was also doing something called 6-day enrollments. And Mark said to me, how many 6-day enrollments are you going to have? And I stepped out into the future and I said 6. And then he said 6 and I said 6. And then I turned around and I pulled the present where I had been in that meeting with him to that future. And that week I had 6. Now you have to understand that this was unheard of. And it's what people on TikTok these days are calling like jumping timelines, but it's truly a way of manifesting by stepping into the reality of the very thing it is that you want. So in 1996, hi Yumi, oh my God, so cute. Hi Carol, welcome. In 1996, I received my first Reiki training from a woman that Yumi and I happen to be very good friends with. Her name is Maureen O'Shaughnessy. And I was studying Aikido. And Aikido, I means heart. Ki is a life force energy like chi or prana. And do is movement. So you use loving movement with the energy of the universe to practice a martial art. And Maureen showed up in my office one day and she said that she had just become a Reiki master. And I was like, Reiki, is that anything like Aikido? And she said, yes, Reiki is how you channel this life force energy. And I was just fascinated. So I signed up for her class. And the class was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 3 hours each day. And each day you were learning symbols and you were learning the techniques to perform Reiki for yourself and for another. And on the very last day, it was a Sunday afternoon, I'm lying on the Reiki table. There's a woman behind me, her name is Tara, and she has her hands in the position where her fingers are around my throat. My Reiki master Maureen is on my right, and a guy named Mark, who is Tara's boyfriend, is on my left, and both of their hands are on my body, one hand on my upper chest and then one hand on my ribs. The lights in the house start flashing. My body starts convulsing, and I keep trying to say a word that Maureen later said sounded like I kept saying Heather. But the word that I was trying to say was Hathor. So Hathor is the Egyptian goddess of women. And suddenly from 10 o'clock in the sky, this golden beam of light hits me in my third eye. And I sit up and I say the word Hathor out loud. And then I ask for a pen and a paper. And I draw this symbol, which it later, I come to find out is Hathor's symbol. And Hathor is the Egyptian goddess of women. Now, not only is she the goddess of women in business, she also helps people with manifestation. And she said to me that what I practiced in 1987 was a form of high alchemy. So this is the symbol that I drew. This is Hathor's symbol, the sun disk and the cow horns. And then I wrote her name down. So this was 1987. And we didn't have the internet. We didn't have phones. So you either went to your local library or you went to your local Barnes and Noble. So Tara and I go to Barnes and Noble and we say, can you tell us who or what a Hathor is? And they say Hathor is, this Egyptian goddess. And it turns out that I was one of the priestesses at her temples. And one of the things that I specialized in was manifestation. And I have pictures of paintings of Hathor here in my sanctuary. A lot of people think that Isis is actually Hathor because Isis kind of took Hathor's mantle and wears it on her head. And while people will attribute this statue to Isis, this is actually Hathor. You can see the sun disk on the top. So Hathor taught us as priestesses in her temples in Egypt that in order to manifest anything, she calls it Egyptian high magic, the true art of manifestation. And I said to her, what does that mean? And she said, it's how you manifest something without incurring karma. And I thought, oh my God, that sounds amazing. So how you do that is, it's very, very simple. You have the ability to look within your own future. You have the ability to look into your own future timelines. At any point in your life, you have about 10 different choices that you can make. 5 that will be for your highest best and 5 that'll kind of be for your lowest best. Once you make that decision, decision actually comes from the Latin word cesare, which means to cut off the alternative. So once you make that choice, all other, like if you have 10 choices and you make one choice, all other 9 shut down, and then you follow that path. So you would look to see what it is that you wish to create or manifest in your life, and you would begin to materialize it for yourself. Materialization happens by bringing in all the elements. So you have the mind in the north, which is also known as air, which is known as knowledge. You have the fire in the east, which is also known as spirit, and it's wisdom. You have the water element in the south, which is the love, it's the emotion, also known as the heart in the deck of cards. And then in the west, you have the actual manifestation. So there's a way of moving through the wheel and of manifesting in conjunction with bringing in all the elements. So you're thinking this thing, you're breathing this thing, you're bathing in this thing, and then you're manifesting this thing. So manifestation truly is a way of bringing forth what already is yours, what already belongs to you. Hi, Meg, welcome. Manifestation is a way of connecting to your highest self, not the ego self, not the self aspect of you that's like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get out of bed. I'm scared about this. I'm fearful of that. Judging this person, judging yourself. All of that is of the ego realm. Manifestation happens when you move into a realm, conscious manifestation. The Egyptian high form of magic is a way of creating what it is that you desire from the highest aspect of self. Now, are there certain people that seem to have disaster after disaster after disaster? Yes, they're manifesting as well, but they're manifesting from the lower self. So really what there is to do is for you to get in touch with your higher self. And I'm going to take us through a really sweet little meditation right now to show you how to do that. When you get in contact with your higher self, you're actually going to get to meet and merge with your higher self in just a few minutes. Your higher self is going to have a message for you today. And this message is going to be about the next thing that you are meant to consciously manifest in your life. So you'll be able to apply what it is that I'm showing you here through this conscious contact. Okay. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do is just to get into a position where you can take a nice deep breath. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a beautiful breath in through your nose. And then as you exhale through your mouth, I want you to start to sink your consciousness out of your head and bring it down towards your heart. Take another beautiful, deep, rich inhale in through the nose. And then again, as you release through the mouth, really start to continue to sink that consciousness down towards your heart. Your heart rate will start to lower. You'll start to feel calmer. You're beginning to activate the animating life force within you. Another beautiful, deep, rich inhale in through the nose. And then a nice, relaxing exhale through the mouth, coming even more deeply into the heart. Next, I want you to imagine breathing in white light. Breathe that white light in through the nose. Let it fill you completely. And then go ahead and exhale and release any darkness, any anxiety, anything that's had your attention. Beautiful. Take another beautiful inhale in of that white light. Breathe it in deeply. Let it fill you completely. And then as you exhale, exhale any darkness, any tension, any worries, anything that's had your attention. Just let it all go. One more beautiful inhale in of that gorgeous white light, that prana, that chi, that key energy. Breathe that in consciously. And then go ahead and exhale and release, letting go of the darkness. Beautiful. Next, I want you to imagine breathing in golden light. Breathe in that golden light. And go ahead and exhale that same golden light. And you're once again continuing to sink your consciousness deeply into your heart. Take another inhale in, beautiful golden light. Let it fill you from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. And then go ahead and exhale that same gorgeous golden light. Beautiful. One more beautiful inhale in, golden light. And then go ahead and exhale. I want you to take another inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to invite your higher self to come and stand before you. Your higher self is the being that loves you, the being that knows you, and the being that guides you through this journey of your physical existence. And this is the being that helps you to manifest everything that you have in your life. For every thought that you think manifests. So you want to be as cautious as possible to think thoughts that are in alignment with what it is that you truly desire. Take another inhale in, and on your exhale, allow yourself to hear the message that your higher self has for you at this time. Beautiful. If you find that you aren't able to hear your higher self, you may have something that is blocking your clairaudience, which is the ability to hear spirit beyond our physical ears. If you have difficulty in being able to see your higher self, you may have a blockage within your clairvoyance, which is the ability to see spirit beyond the physical eyes. If you have a blockage in your ability to just know the information that comes from spirit, there may be a blockage within your claircognizance. And if you do not have the ability to feel spirit, you may have a blockage within what is called your clairsentience, your ability to feel spirit. When spirit shows up for me, I'll get goosebumps, I'll feel the temperature change. I'm able to see them, I'm able to hear them, and I'm able to receive wisdom and knowledge from them. And it comes from the relationship that you've really built with your higher self. So right now with your higher self, tell your higher self what it is that you would like to make manifest in your life. It may be a new job, it may be a relationship, it may be a place to live, it may be money that you need to pay your bills. But in this very moment, imagine yourself having the very thing that it is that you say that you want. Imagine yourself being in the relationship that you desire. How will that make you feel? For it is from the feeling and from the heart that you're going to manifest this. How will it make you feel to live in the home of your dreams? How will it make you feel to have the job that you have always wanted? You step out into the future. You step out into the timeline where this already exists for you. And then you turn around and you look at yourself in the present and you pull that present you to that future you, and you fully embrace that reality as existing for you now. And you are grateful, so deeply grateful. Thank your higher self for allowing you to see where it is that you want to be and what it is that you want. It is the gratitude that makes all the difference in the world. When you have something and you keep saying, I don't want this, I don't want this, you're telling the universe that you're not appreciative for what it is that you have. And there will come a moment when you realize that everything that you've ever had in your life was brought forth by you, teaching you the lessons that you need to know on your journey of life. Allow yourself to feel the gratitude that you are exactly where you want to be. And through the grace of manifestation, you have allowed yourself to step into that reality. And it is absolutely within you to be able to create that. For we are all creator beings. Take a beautiful inhale in. Thank your higher self for being there. And tell them that you promise to come and spend time with them. You come and have a relationship with them and to truly understand how it is that the two of you work together. Take another inhale. With your exhale, go ahead and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing yourself back to your physical body. It sounds remarkably simple, and the truth is that it is. You visualize for yourself. You allow yourself to hear, to see, to feel, to experience, to smell, to taste, to touch, everything about what it is that you wish to create in your life. And then from there, you shift yourself into that timeline. You shift yourself into that reality, being so deeply grateful for what it is that you have. And you can always desire to have more. Jesus says that one of the greatest tools that we have is desire. Desire is the very first part of the journey of creation. You desire something and then you create the intention to have it. And then you allow it to be manifest. And then you have appreciation for it being done. It's a cycle of manifestation that works very much like a paradigm matrix. Take another inhale in. And on the exhale, you can go ahead and open your eyes. Manifestation is so much easier than anyone understands. It's knowing what it is that you desire, knowing that you are deserving of it and worthy of it, and then allowing yourself to experience having that thing, being grateful for it, and then bringing it forth. What I have manifested in the past couple years has been extraordinary. I really honed in on understanding what this technique is. And I'm really excited to bring it to all of you. So I just want to let you know that one of the things that I offer is a class called Quantum Healing. And in quantum healing, you learn some tools and techniques for work in the psychic fields, how to move energy, how to release energy. And when you release energy, you really start to manifest like crazy. Imagine water's coming down a stream and there's a big boulder in the middle and it has to kind of separate and it impedes the flow of the water. It can teach you how to get rid of the boulders in your life so that the manifestations go like crazy. And if that's anything that you're interested in, you can let us know. My assistant Priyanka will go ahead and drop a link for that inside of the group. Does anyone have any questions? How was that visualization for you? Carol, Janet, Yumi, or Meg, Priyanka? Anybody want to talk about what it was like to connect with your higher self, what it was that you wanted to manifest? Hi, Carol. Hey, sweet girl. So good to see you.
You too.
Oh,
And you're looking beautiful.
sweet woman. This is what being a raw vegan has done for me. It's crazy.
We'll have to discuss that later.
Definitely.
In terms of what I was trying to manifest, it's more the inner manifestation of my higher self.
Okay. So in order to have a very clear relationship with one's higher self, there are some judgments that we have about our relationship with our higher selves, in that we may feel like we don't know how to connect, we don't know what our higher self looks like or how it communicates with us. So one thing that you can do is you can ask your higher self and say, I would like to know you, and I don't know about how to go about doing that. Can you please give me some signs? And your higher self, believe me, will be overjoyed to connect with you. So you can ask, what would be the best way? You may find out that getting messages from them. Here was my first experience so clearly of my higher self. It's 1984. I'm reading a book called 3 Magic Words, and I'm doing these beautiful meditations for the first time in my life. And I'm getting ready for work, and one day I hear this voice that says, bring an extra pair of stockings. And I'm thinking, what? And the voice says a second time, bring an extra pair of stockings. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I have stockings on. My deal is when I hear it 3 times, I have to act on it. And the third time it said, bring an extra pair of stockings. So I put stockings in my purse and I go off to work. I don't think anything of it. One of my girlfriends calls me and she says, hey, you want to meet over at the Jolly Fisherman? And it's a Friday and I love their clam chowder. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I go, we have lunch. They have these wooden chairs. When I go to get up, my stockings catch on the chair and I get to run all the way down my leg. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Meg, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, it's 5 a.m. God bless you for being here. So, I went in the bathroom, put on the new pair of stockings, and I learned to listen to the voice of spirit. So if clairaudience is something where you feel you may be blocked and you can't hear messages like that, there's a way that you can clear that up. Clairvoyance is where you're able to see, like you can see for me, I can see with my eyes closed. Some people have the ability to see spirit with their eyes open. And then claircognizance is where you just know the information. Like who's calling on the phone, who's knocking at the door, something has happened. Clairsentience is again that sense of being able to feel them, like all of a sudden there's goosebumps and that there's a presence. I have a friend named Sandy who passed away, and he recently was here and he was standing behind me with his hands on my shoulders while I was talking to his wife. So we all have these incredible psychic abilities, and a lot of times some of these have been shut down through the many lifetimes that we've had where, we thought it wasn't safe to have those open, where we were killed for them, where we were maimed for them. So there are ways that you can open them. And that's, some of the work that I do in the classes that I teach. But really having a relationship with one's higher self is an intention. When you know that what you want to do is have that relationship, act as if you do and speak that into existence. Higher self, I don't know exactly what you look like. I don't know what you feel like. I don't know what you sound like, but I'd love to have a relationship with you. Please help me to do that. And they will reach out to bridge that for you. I promise. I love you. It's really great to see you, my darling. All right. Anybody else? We got a couple more minutes before I'm going to go. Yumi, it's so good to see you. Yumi is a dear friend of mine who lives in Hawaii. And I love that you're here. I know it must be early in the morning for you. I think you're about 5 hours off. Meg and Janet, thank you both so much for being here. You have claircognizance, and that's about it. I speak to a team a lot, but like speaking to myself, it is like speaking to yourself. Oh, listen, I want to let you all know that there's a 1-day manifestation workshop that I'm going to do. It's going to be 2 hours in which we go into a lot more detail, and we're going to work on clearing up the stuff that's in the way of your manifesting. It's going to be on March 9th, which is a very powerful day. The cost of the workshop is $222, and Priyanka is going to drop a link for that. Yeah, claircognizance is kind of like if there's one that you have, claircognizance is a really great one to have, because it kind of like brings in the clairvoyance, the clairsentience, and the clairaudience all at the same time. But what's interesting is when I have a class called Clearing the Clairs, in which I gauge people on each one of them, on a scale of 1 to 10. It's funny, I asked one of my students one time, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you with claircognizance? And without even thinking, she blurts out and she goes 40. And she really is. She's just one of those people who knows everything. It's fascinating. She has an incredible connection with spirit. But if developing these is something that you want to do, I offer classes for that. It's really amazing to watch. I had one client one time, and she was a shaman, and so she could understand things, but she had a really hard time with her clairvoyance. And we went to a lifetime where she was an elder in an Indian tribe. And what had happened was she was the oldest living member of the tribe. Like all the other elders had died. She was the medicine woman. And she kept warning that there were these marauders that were coming. And she said, we're going to be attacked. And the younger leaders didn't believe her. And then, of course, the day came when most of the tribe was wiped out. and they blamed her. They said, you brought this on us. You did this. And they took 2 pieces of hard, like bark, and burned it till it was hot like embers. And they put it on her eyes and they burned her eyes out. And then they took her out into the desert and they left her to die. And she made the decision, I'm never going to use my clairvoyance again. I'll never use my ability to see again. So once we healed that, she fully recovered it. I mean, that's the power of what's available, you know? So I thank you all for being here. I hope that this was really helpful for you. If you want any more information, please reach out to me on Facebook. I'm sure that's where you found me. And I love you, and I will help you any way that I can. Carol, I love you. So good to see you. Yumi, delightful to have you here. Meg and Janet, thank you so much for being here. And to everybody on Facebook who's viewing us from wherever you are, much love. And I'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody. You're so welcome. Hi, Yumi.
Hi, Lynn.
I love the doll collection you have with your mom. It's so precious.
Oh, thank you. She made, I didn't, you might have seen the one that I put on my Facebook profile page. That one she made.
That's
The others
incredible.
was something she bought when I was 1 year old, I think.
You could see the care that she took in assembling that. It was just gorgeous.
Yeah,
It's really
it's
gorgeous.
very precious.
Oh, I
Thanks.
love it. I love that you got to be here for the Maureen story. I know she tells
Me
that story from time to time, but it was really fun. My Hathor experience. All right, sweet girl. I love you. Bye, everybody.
You too.
Have a beautiful
Bye.
day. Talk to you all soon. Bye.